Trilly on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself.
And we are live. Welcome back to Mescalo Moves. It's your boy, the one with the Scarface, your boy Scarface. And today we got another episode for you. Thank you guys to everybody who keeps supporting the channel, keep supporting the podcast, keep sharing that stuff. Still working on trying to get my TikTok back. I don't know what's going on over there, but hopefully soon I get that back. But shout out to everyone who keeps following the new account. The backup account is linked in my links and all that stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. Go follow me. Shout out to everybody who keeps supporting every month by donating. If you go to the actual podcast homepage, you can put on there however much you want to donate a month. Truly do appreciate it. I'm not saying you have to, but to everyone who does. And if anything, just leave us a thumbs up, a 5-star review, wherever you listen to the podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever the case may be. Make sure you just give us a thumbs up, 5-star rating, and that helps us a lot. So anyways, if you guys want to help out a little bit more, we do sell pins. Links are in the bio. Hat pins and everything like that. And we do have a little bit of merch too, also linked down below. But anyways, today I wanted to get into this episode because one of the popular questions that I get asked now is about online dating. So, are apps good? What are the pros and cons? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do the pros and cons about dating online. Just social media, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Coffee Meet, Christians Mingle, Black people meet, Cowboys on, anything, or wherever you want to sign up for, it's your preference, okay? But we're going to go over the pros and cons about, I went through the internet again and we made a list of some pros and some cons about dating online. But most importantly, just try it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Stop questioning it. So we're going to get into the pros first about dating online. So, of course, before we even get into these, because I just kind of skimmed over them, I wanted to get my initial thoughts as we made the podcast. I always meet people online. That's just a thing now. If you are weirded out about it, you're weird. But it's the internet changed everything. Internet changed everything, how you meet people and how you socialize with people now. So, first pro, accessibility. Online dating apps provide access to a wide range of potential partners, allowing you to connect with people you might not have met otherwise. And that's absolutely true because there's some people that I've met online that I don't think I would have ever met in my life. Okay. So we'll get into the cons, but we'll talk about good things right now, just the good things. You're able to reach different people. You're able to reach or meet new people from different towns, from different states, whatever the case may be. You're able to meet people that you wouldn't have normally ran into, at the library, getting coffee, out, bar, club, an outing, an event, a rodeo, the fair, you know what I mean? You would have never met this person if it wasn't for online. Because, sometimes, let's be honest, you don't cross paths with everybody in this world. Some of the people that I have met, like I said before, have been strictly just online. Just because you see the profile pic, you know what you're getting into. You know what I mean? You know what you're getting into, unless you get catfish. We already did that story about me getting catfish. But anyways, you know what you're getting into. You know what the person looks like, and you're able, you're able to meet a whole bunch of people. If you sign up for one of the online dating apps, then obviously you can put where you want to meet people or where you live and things like that. So there's also that. But if you're meeting people through Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever the case, it tells you where they're from. And again, I've done it too before. I've met people that I would have never met if it wasn't for social media. So it's not bad. But of course, we'll get into the pro or the cons later. You can find bad people on there as well too. So remember that accessibility. You're able to access a lot more people and not just have to deal with the city that you're from, because a lot of you guys know I don't date from here. Or, you know what I mean? You don't have to worry about all that. You don't have to worry about the same city drama or anything like that. So that's a huge con for me. Okay. Number 2, convenience. You can browse and interact with potential matches from your comfort of your own home at any time that suits you. And which is true. If you sign up for one of the dating apps, you're able to kind of put your filters and things like that, and know who you're gonna meet. And you don't necessarily have to go out anywhere. That's the cool thing about social media and like the dating apps. You're able to meet people. It basically said from the comfort of your home, and you're that way you're not out wasting money, wasting time at these places. Especially if you're going to a bar to meet somebody. You can meet good people there, and you can meet bad people there, but you're gonna spend money on getting there. If you have to pay to get in, food, drinks, whatever the case may be, like instead of just being like having to waste all that time and money, you can just search online and see what you can find. So it's a huge convenience, but it's also, that could be a con as well too, because since your options are so much. I give this example to like a business, like the way you price things. If you give them A and B, they're going to choose A or B. If you gave them A, B, or C, they're probably not going to choose any. It's funny how they've done these studies online and at different schools. Like the more options you give them, the less likely they're going to buy something. The less options you give them, they're going to choose one or the other. That's why like I try to stick to 2 different price points on a lot of things. Price A and price B, which one you want. And they'll choose one of the 2. If you give them price A, price B, and C, then they're going to be like, I don't know about all those, like it's going to be too much for them. So that's why I always tell people, keep it simple. Keep it simple. So next one that we have, next pro. These are all pros, by the way, okay? Just letting you guys know that. Increased options. Digital dating offers a diverse pool of people that various backgrounds and interests, expanding on the dating options. And that's the same thing as accessibility. I mean, accessibility is a little bit different. You're able to access a lot more people, but this increases your options. Like, and it's so true because again, you don't have to deal with the little circle of the city, like the dating pool in your city, because even if you live in California, the city that you're from, you tend to like see these little circles, like you don't know everybody, but people are familiar. You're like, oh, I've seen them before. I saw them over there, and things like that. Over time, it does start turning like that, unless you go to different cities to go do different things. But this increases your options because now, like for myself, I live here in Idaho Falls. Like, say I want to meet somebody in Boise, Salt Lake, those are not too far. Like, I've met girls out there, and this is like through social media. Like, I'm just being honest, like this is through social media. How would I have been able to meet these people through otherwise? Probably not. That's why social media is good, because you're able to meet different people and see different options, which is cool because some people just settle, especially if it's just in the town that you live in. Like, they'll be like, all right, cool. Well, I guess this should work, like maybe this is it, Nah, that's why I've also been single, because I want to make sure I find somebody who is 100% for me. And with all these options that we have out here now, so it's a lot easier. So we have the increased options, which is a huge plus for me. And you get to learn. It's funny, after I've been doing TikTok, podcasts, like all this social media stuff, you start to learn how many people actually will, like, not like will, but are more compatible with you. And I really haven't found somebody compatible here, especially how I am, how I move, how the things I do and things like that. And some people, like, when the options aren't that great, meaning like there's not a lot, you kind of do have to settle, like if you're dating wherever you're at. So you kind of like, yeah, like she's cool, she's gorgeous, but I don't like this and this and this, but what else should I do? So increased options is a huge plus. Now this one these are all like, you can use these on social media, dating apps, but this one is going to be for dating apps. Filtered matches. Apps often allow you to set preferences, helping you find people who align with your values and interests. And which is true because I signed up for dating apps for a little bit, but this shit was whack for me. I didn't like it, but I'm not saying don't try it. But like on there, you can put your interests, what you're looking for, the age range you're looking for. If you're looking for a guy or a girl, you're able to cater to whatever you want. Like, but it's also a downfall because if you start catering to what you want, what makes you think that there's going to be a lot of those options available? So this is why like it's a good and a bad thing that you can filter. Because then think about it, like here's your pool, like it's a nice round circle. Say it looks like a donut, for example. It's a donut, right? But then you put a filter, that donut gets smaller. You put another filter, that donut gets a little bit smaller. By the time you actually have everything down, you're looking for the dating pool is like a donut size, or the donut hole. You know how they sell those little donut holes size compared to the full donut. So I know it's a weird analogy, but that's what it is. Like every time you put a filter on there, it's less and less people. It's not more and more. So just also remember that that's gonna be, and you're able to filter people just because like everybody has different interests. If you're looking for someone who has common things, but one thing that I read online is a lot of people who work out. I mean, people work out that have similar interests, but the ones that have done the best are the ones that are mainly complete opposites. So just think about that too. Like you might find the love of your life on social media, but you might not. So filtered matches is a huge plus. Especially if your religion beliefs, if you want someone with the same religion or around the same age, or that does certain things. That way you guys have things in common, or certain political views too. You could put that, and also like people who smoke. Like me, I do not fuck with cigarettes. Like those are gross. They're nasty. I've seen a hot girl, like this girl was banging, and then she smoked a cigarette, and ever since then she went from a 10 for me down to like a 4. Okay, like I don't like smoking. Smoking the other stuff is a little different, but cigarettes, I hate that smell. All right, so and number 5, initial communication. Text-based communication can allow you for deeper initial conversations, as people might be more open when they're not face to face. Oh, and this is because they're a little bit more comfortable. Like, but that's in everything. People turn on to online internet gangsters all the time, like they always have something to say because it's just a screen between, like they're not looking at you. But this is great for you guys. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. Like they could be telling you this and that, but you have to remember this is through social media. They could be married, engaged, like they can be in a relationship right now, or they could just be completely lying to you. So just be aware of that. Don't take everything they say over text as 100% certainty. You just got to be careful. But if they're really dry on texting, girl or guy, whatever, you have to take that into account. Like there could be something going on there. So those were the pros. Let's get into some cons here because, not everything is all great and dandy. Misrepresentation. Some users may not be completely truthful about their appearance or intentions, leading to disappointment when meeting in person. And this is what I said, like you have to take everything with a grain of salt because you never know what people are. I can tell you, girl, I'm going to treat you like a queen. Oh, I do this for a living. I'm this and this and this. But none of it's true. You know what I mean? Like, or they can completely say they're this type of person, but in reality, they're like controlling or like, I've seen it before. Like they're using a picture 60 pounds ago, but now like when you see them in person, you're like, oh, I'm not saying like weight matters, but like I thought I was gonna meet this person, but it's more this person. You know what I mean? Like just things like that. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. There's things that I do, FaceTime, call. That way it's 100% it's that person, because you don't want to get catfished out here. And everybody, again, take everything with a grain of salt because everybody can be lying. You never know what's true. Nobody's going to give you the 100% truth. Well, some people do, but for the most part, no one tells you the 100% truth, okay? They try to lie. They try to impress you some sort of way. All right, so number 2, apps often prioritize looks over personality potential, leading to shallow judgments based on appearance. And let's be honest, everybody does it, okay? So I always say you have to be attracted to somebody physically, appearance-wise, or I don't think it's going to work out. But there are some people who just have their taste, and like if you don't fit in those tastes, but like their taste buds, it's not going to work out. Like why? That's why like use current up to date photos. Use like yada like and guys, stop lying about your height. Like she gonna see you in person, and then it's gonna be worse. Okay, so just know that people are gonna like. It sucks. It's shallow. Yes, I don't think like depending on the guy, right? But I want someone who has a beautiful smile because I'm really attracted to that. Is that bad? Is that good and bad? I don't know. Like, am I an asshole for that? I don't know. But that's what I like. You know what I mean? Like, why would I have to change that for somebody else? You know, like if I like someone who has a beautiful smile, why can't I have that? You know, that's something I want. But there's also people who are going to go based off of looks, and girls do it too, not just guys. Girls do it too. This is both sides. People judge other people by height, weight, ethnicity, like you name it, like whatever the case, political views, religion views, like you get judged for everything. We're not judged, but that goes into like, I don't know, like they're Catholic, a Mormon. You know what I mean? Like it's just everything. Like it could be an issue. So that's why just be careful. People are shallow on there. And if they're looking for a 10 and they're a 4, come on now. Some of these guys think they're going to pull a girl, and I'm like, bro, you don't even take care of yourself, man. Like, what makes you think you're going to score somebody like you think is a 10 when you're not putting in 10 behaviors, if that makes sense? Like, taking care of yourself, like, make sure you have well hygiene, active, like, you name it, like, being confident with yourself. Like, you want to be some lazy slob, and then, like, who's not well put together, meaning, like, dresses somewhat nice, you know, looks confident, and you know what I mean? Like things like that. If they're not putting in that effort, what makes you think they're gonna pull someone that is putting in that effort? They're gonna be like, you know. So anyways, that's like a really sticky situation just because everybody has difference. I have my preferences, and if you want to call me shallow or like I like girls that have darker hair. That's just the thing. I mean, have I dated girls who have lighter hair? Yes. Like, it's not been an issue. But, like, if you put the same girl in front of me, light hair and dark hair, I'm going to choose the dark hair girl. Like, I'm just being honest. I like nice smiles, you know. I get attracted to nice smiles, you know. And that's something I always look at. So, I want a girl who has a nice smile. So, but some guys are just, like, completely shallow and, like, you have to be, like, a model, you know. And you don't want those guys, okay? Number 3 as a con is overwhelming choices. The abundance of options can lead to choice overload and difficulties in making decisions. And what did I say earlier about the whole pricing? The more options you have, the less likely you're going to choose just one person. That's why like there's some guys out here trying to talk to multiple girls because they have access to multiple girls. And so they don't want to lock down to one person specifically. Because if they have the options to talk to all these girls, why were they going to lock down to one person specifically? You know, that's why I was saying earlier, when you price stuff, you know, don't try to give them too many options like package A, B, C, D, E, F. No, they're going to choose none of them. Okay, they're going to be overwhelmed. It's going to be too much. And they're going to go somebody that gives them more of a flat rate. You know, that's why I say, like, offer 2 different price points, depending on what it is. You know, obviously, some things you have to offer more. But, like, in general, price A, price B, they're going to choose price A or price B. If you give them A, B, C, D, G, E, like, whatever the case may be, they're not going to choose any. It's going to be overwhelming. They're going to be like, well, yeah, but this one, that one, this one has this one has that. I don't know which one to choose, and they choose none. And it's the same thing with this girl. I like these traits. I like these traits. Yeah, but this girl this, but this girl that, you know. And then at the end of the day, they're going to be like, well, I like both of them. So, you know, I'm just going to see where both of them goes, you know. So that's why sometimes it is bad having like a lot of options, because then you don't know what to choose because you like certain things of each person. And and trust me, I've been in that situation too. And you just like, well, fuck, I don't know what to choose. I'm not going to choose any. You know? So just be aware of that as well, okay? Lack of context. Online interactions can lack the context of body language and tone, leading to misunderstandings and miscommunications. And this is very true because some people, like I said, are dry texters or don't really know how to show that type of emotion, or it's just harder. I love face-to-face interactions more than obviously text, but sometimes that's not the case. If you meet somebody online, you have to be able to talk to them online too. And that's not going to happen exactly on social media, like through text, like getting that in-person vibe. Like it's the same thing like for sales. Like in person is a whole different, it's harder to tell somebody no in person, but like over text messages or the phone, it's a lot easier to say no. But it's the same with like emotions and like what their intentions are, or so obviously if it's going to be through social media, you're going to start through text. But if they're taking forever to try to like hang out with you and things like that, or even FaceTime you, or if you can't FaceTime them at certain times of the day, come on, these are all red flags. So, just be aware of those situations as well. And number 5 is ghosting and rejection. The digital nature of communication can make it easier for people to ghost, suddenly stop responding, or reject others without explanation. And it's so easy. That's why I said, like, that's the easy option. And especially if it's over through text, just block them, just stop responding. Like, eventually they'll stop, and so it's so much easier to ghost. That's why, like, it sucks. We live in the day and age where people are ghosting all the time. If they're not interested, they just like completely stop talking. They really don't explain to the other person, because again, it's so much harder and awkward to have that conversation, being like, yo, I'm not into you like that. Sorry. And then, what if that leads to another question? And then some guys are going to be like, it's going to lead to another question, and then another question, and then another question, and some guys just don't want to deal with all that. And I've learned not to ghost people, start to have communication, talk a little bit more, because at the end of the day, it helps me and it helps the other person, especially because like some girls are like, I need closure. I need to figure out why. And sometimes closure can be worse, or like them trying to find closure because the person might say something stupid and then it makes it even worse, or say something that hurts your feelings, or, leaves you worse off. So also be aware there's a lot of people on social media that will message you for a little bit. Pay attention. They'll be all great and dandy for like a few days, a week, 2 weeks, but then all of a sudden everything just dies down, because it could be that initial rush of like talking to somebody new, and then all of a sudden like, I'm not really feeling this person, and it's so much easier just to ghost this person. So again, like dating online is difficult. Should you do it? Yes. Just dating is difficult. Because I'm sure like you may not run into your love of your life out somewhere. Maybe you'll find them at church. But your chances are a lot higher if you start looking on social media, start talking to people on social media, meeting people on social media. But you also have to be careful, because the same place you can find the love of your life, you can find the worst person you've ever dated in your life too. So you have to remember that. Just keep your guards up, boundaries, because it happens, like bad people go to to places where good people are, and then good people go to places where potentially bad people are too. Like, because before I was saying like I wouldn't go to a bar and meet a girl, but then Jackie explained it to me. She's like, well, I like going out, dancing, hanging out with friends, and I go. And she said that she has just talking with her and seeing what she has her head on, right? So I was like, well, she's right, and I kind of changed my stance on that. And she, she talked to me about it. Like, you can meet good people anywhere, but at those same places, you can meet bad people. So you just always have to be aware of that. You always have to just keep your guard up, boundaries, pay attention to their actions, because their actions will tell you everything you want to know. Being dry and texting, hot and cold, they're probably being hot and cold with somebody else, or being a little bit more hot with somebody else, So, you have to pay attention to their actions and putting in effort. But if you're ready to be in the dating pool, ready to go out there and just hang out, just have your boundaries up. Just because, like I said, not everybody is out there to be the love of your life. They're just out there to have a good time, hang out, hook up, and then just ghost you right after, because it's happened. Guys do it all the time. So just be careful when you go out there. Just it's because I don't want to say don't go out there. If you're ready and want to start talking to people, start dating, then go for it. the worst thing you can do is just not go for it because you think everybody is bad, because not everybody is bad. There's great people out there. It just takes a little bit of time to find them, and that if that means keeping your guard up, making sure that they're not using you for certain things, you're not being used by certain things, is like using you to hook up, using you for something, they have some agenda, like they just want to hook up with you, or they're just trying to use you for something, having you pay for their stuff. I've seen those guys like have girls pay for their shit. Like, come on, guys. But moral of the story, everything about the pros and cons is just, if you're ready to go out there, just know that social media is a great place to meet people. Of course, you can also find some bad people, but that's why we have to take it upon ourselves to keep our guard up, have our boundaries, and know what we will and will not accept from people. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time to listening to another episode. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok if you guys haven't followed me on there. I'm trying to get my other account back. We're still in the process. I mean, we're on week 3, so hopefully Jackie had to wait 3 weeks. I think she said about 3 weeks, so we're on week 3. I just know it's because they're probably getting a lot of requests to review their account and yada, yada, yada. Come on, it's TikTok. So, and I'm just like a smaller guy. So of course, they're not going to be like, yeah, we'll do it. We're on it. No, it's going to take time for them to see it. So, but anyways, I want to thank you guys for listening. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Is this the company you keep? Stay woke. Please don't get caught slick. End up sowing what you reap. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me.